goodness. I just did it.
I do apologise. We've had some quite technical mishaps, so we're running a bit late. But it's 5 p.m. Alex Danson-Bennett, welcome to Cuppa and a Natter.
Hello, lovely Emily de Frond. I'm so delighted to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Now, I'm not going to lie, Al. I think I don't know how I pulled this one out the bag, to be honest with you. So obviously you're a bit of a big dog in the hockey world. Retired in February after 18 long years in the international game. A casual 306 caps. Many people would be happy with one. 306 caps. A record equaling 115 goals. Are you blushing yet? No.
I'm blushing.
Okay, they'll keep coming. Okay, the Double Olympic Medalist. Obviously, the famous night in Rio where you won gold with the GB hockey girls. 4-time World Player of the Year nominee. I mean, that's a joke, girl. I've picked the biggest dog in my phone book to be the first episode. So thank you very much for joining me, girl. How are you?
It's my pleasure, Em. Thank you very much for having me on. I'm good, thank you. Definitely a bit hotter than I was a couple of minutes ago. No, I'm good, thanks, Em. It's lovely to be here. I'm super excited to have your next guest because I want to be watching, not just in it. No, I'm very good, Em.
You've got to survive the next 30 minutes for that to happen, though. Just to remind.
Got it. I'll try and make it through.
We've got a mere 105 people tuning in so far, so cheers to them. Hope you've all got your cup of tea in hands.
Have you got your cup of ice?
Yeah, I like your mug, by the way. Very, very nice.
Can I tell you the story about this?
I'd love to, actually.
Big shout out to Maddie Hinch's mum and dad, who sent this to me when I retired. Isn't that lovely?
No.
I'm really sorry, Neil, that it is in fact tea in here and not wine. But on another occasion.
How would we know that, though? Have you got proof? Can I see? I don't know. You could be a changed woman these days, Al.
When in lockdown.
But in all seriousness, very, very nice tea. Sticking with, obviously, the topic of conversation, the most important questions that I'm going to ask you in the whole 30 minutes are about to come up. Okay,
got it. Yes.
So there's 5 quick-fire tea-related questions.
Okay, got it.
Right? So no thinking about it. You've just literally got to give my answer, okay?
Yes.
We're running a tight schedule, unfortunately. Right, you ready?
Yes, ready.
Ready, okay? Yeah, everyone else at home, you can join in as well. Okay, so, ready? Breakfast tea or herbal tea?
Breakfast.
Tea bag or loose tea leaf?
Tea bag.
Sugar, milk or neither?
Milk, lots of it.
Digestive or hobnob?
Hobnob.
Jam or cream first on a scone?
Oh, cream.
Interesting. Right, way back, okay. So lots of milk, that's controversial.
Yeah, I'm like the absolute opposite to our lovely Nick White, who has like the littlest dash you've ever seen ever. And I'm like, pour it in, girl, pour it in. Yeah, I like a milk tea and even milkier coffee.
I mean, you're trying to think of your protein gains, aren't you, really?
Yeah, yes, protein gains all the way.
So actually, when I sent out my my video the other day, launching this fantastic new idea, I got a bit of stick actually online because people thought I didn't add milk to my tea because I only added a little slither. Okay,
a little dash.
I got slated, so people like you will give me
another Nick White. That's a northern
Nick White, I mean, she's the queen of tea, so she knows, I suppose. Okay, so, I mean, we've got the important questions out of the way, to be fair. Everyone now knows how Alex Danson-Bennett drinks her tea out of her Neil Hinch mug. Very nice. To be fair, you might win the mug. I've got this mug, okay? This mug means a lot because it used to be my grandma's. Nice touch.
That's very nice. I like that.
Yeah, so I think Jill de Frond was very happy that I chose this mug instead of any of her favourite tea mugs. covered, but that's another story, isn't it? Okay.
So, Nick's come online. Love you, Nick.
Nick, yeah. Shout out to the Queen of herself.
Queen of Oldham. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Drinking to you, girl. Even though it's about 30 degrees outside, I'm boiling. Okay, so tea-related questions out the way. I think it would be a bit of a waste of 30 minutes talking to someone like yourself about tea for the whole time, okay? So I've kind of prepped you, haven't I, with a rough outline. So basically, how the cuppa and the natter is going to work, I'm going to ask all my guests 3 questions, okay? 3 questions, really, really simple, and they're going to enlighten us. So without further ado, I'm going to start with a bit of a tricky one. For a woman that's probably got a pretty impressive trophy cabinet at home, having won a international medal, correct me if I'm wrong, an international medal for 10 consecutive years from 2009 to 2019. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
I think that's outrageous, isn't it, everyone? That's a joke. That's
I think it's just showing my age.
Well, no, I would say shows the expertise that we're talking to today, right? More like that. But anyway, okay, so with all of that in mind, this is quite a hard question for you. What is your career highlight?
Oh. Okay, I'm going to cheat straight away and I'm going to give you 2 small ones, but they're big ones to me. So my first is in 2010. In 2010, we went to the World Cup in Rosario, and if you ever get an opportunity to play in Argentina, it's just the most incredible place. They love their hockey. It was wild, it was loud, and we've been talking as a squad for a long time about trying to medal on the world stage. And I remember we came through the group stages, we got to our semi-final, we lost our semi-final, which was devastating, but we played for a bronze medal at a World Cup in front of about 25,000 people, and we beat Germany 2-1, and it was so special because we won a medal in one of the best countries in the world to play, but it was so special because it was our first on the world stage, and we'd been talking about it for a long time, and we always came close, we never quite got there. And I believe that was the kind of start. Well, the start came a lot earlier than that, but in terms of winning medals, we began to build a lot at that point. So that's my kind of first one, and then my second one, you know, I couldn't not mention Rio. Rio was just the combination of years and years of people, so many more than even the 31 in that squad. It was the players that I started my career with in 2001. Some of them, you know, they made me without question into the athlete I became, but it was just everybody did their job relentlessly, boringly, every single day, and it resulted in what it did. And it was a moment I'll never forget and will always cherish.
So 2 perfect examples there. If you go back to, you know, that win in Rosario, getting that medal there, would you have ever thought, you know, fast forward to 2016, you'd be standing on the top of the podium, the pinnacle of hockey, with an Olympic gold medal around your neck?
Do you know what? The truth is, I never thought about it. I never thought about, I feel like, and I say this a lot, pretty much the only thing we didn't prepare for in Rio was the moment we actually won. You know, we didn't have a clue what to do when the whistle went. We didn't know what to do or what to do with ourselves or where to go or what to think. And I believed we could be a winning team. I always believed that, but I don't think I ever allowed myself to think of that actual moment. It was such tiny steps. You know, it was winning a bronze medal at a World Cup. It was then going to an Olympic Games and getting on the podium. It was then having, you know, the devastation we had in kind of 2014. It was always such small incremental things that built towards Rio. So, I mean, I would now say to a youngster, don't be like me. Don't not dream about it. Don't not think about it. Think about it, but understand it takes a lot. It takes every moment of every day, and it takes many, many people. But it's possible. Anything is possible. And I think that's what I look at now more fondly.
I think I've got goosebumps just listening to you, to be honest. I think that's exactly, if that's what you wanted out of your international career or off the back of Rio, then hear to that, because I think, you know, everyone will remember where they were on that night in Rio when you guys won an Olympic gold medal. I mean, just watching that game, I think I had every emotion going. But off the back of that, and how you've inspired so many people, you know, throughout all ages, especially the younger generation, to pick up a stick or to get active or do whatever they want and aspire to their dreams, like you've just said. I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head. So props to you. Cheers.
Thank you, MD.
Two career highlights of an illustrious career. I mean, that's probably the hardest question you'll ever get asked. Every day was a highlight, right, for you, Al?
Do you know what? I have to say, particularly given the way my career ended, I am so happy that I never took one game for granted. I never thought I'd be picked for anything. I never expected anything. So whenever anything came, I was delighted. Yeah, and I don't have a single regret. So for that reason, again, if I could ever say anything to my younger self, I'd be like, live it that way. You know, don't live with any regrets, because you never know when something's going to end.
Well, I mean, good for you. Here's to that. So I think that moves things on quite nicely in terms of obviously how your career came to the end, and, you know, off the back of that, all of the work that you've been doing and, you know, raising awareness of concussion so amazingly, speaking from personal experience, obviously, and, you know, raising that, you know, not much is known at the moment, but, you know, that needs to change. Obviously, your other passions, such as you've set up a Alex Danson Hockey Academy in 2017, which is phenomenal. Try and get, you know, young children involved in a sport that we both love. Obviously, it's well known on social media that you're an avid cyclist.
I am.
Out there.
I love donning the light prep.
Correct. Light prep, sunglasses, nice little one. Okay. So,
I love my sunglasses, MD.
I noticed your sunglasses on the top of your head from the minute.
I haven't got my special ones on though. I should have worn them just for you.
That's for another time. But I like these. You've become a fashion these days.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes, you've got a lot of things going for you. You've got a lot of passions in your life. So question number 2, what would you say is your main passion, and kind of the area that you want to have, like, maybe the biggest difference in the next, say, 10 years?
Oh, that is a really big question. Again, I probably would want to cheat and say 2. I definitely want to, I think, raise awareness, but also help people to understand who have head injuries, who have minor traumatic brain injuries, the significance they can have in your life. I think there is a long way to go in terms of research. I think that will happen. So yes, that's certainly one. I will definitely stay connected to that area of my life, and any support I can give there, I will. The second for me is PE and school sport. So PE at school changed my life. It made me the person I became. It gave me opportunities. I loved it. I released energy. I played with my brother, my sister. I just loved it. And I don't think the provision in primary schools is sufficient. It blows my mind that you don't have PE specialist teachers in primary schools. And my academy I set up because I want as many young people to engage in hockey and have the opportunity to play. So there's lots of different strands. We go into primary schools and we essentially run after school clubs. We run masterclasses where I deliver to players that have played before. And we also run lots of camps and cup and school competitions. So for me, I think my energy will be in young people and playing hockey, but actually playing any sport. I think that's where my passion will lie over the next 5 to 10, well, probably the rest of my life. Sport's given me so much. I wouldn't want to walk away from it. I also hope to never be too far away from hockey. You know, it's been my life since I was, you know, since I was 16 really, and far beyond that, far before that. So I'd love to stay in the game in some capacity, hopefully coaching, but we'll see what happens in the next few years.
Very interesting. So in terms of your hockey academy, obviously, you know, it started back in 2017. Obviously, it's very clear that you want to try and expand that over the next few years. How would people get involved in that? How can, you know, young children, if they hear about, you know, what you're just saying just then, how can they get involved with your hockey academy?
So with the Hockey Academy, that we've got tons of resources that can be accessed through. So it tends to be through the schools initially. So that's how our contact is made. So just get in contact with us on website or with Everyone Active, who I run the academy with, and then we will send coaches into your school to coach. So that's one way. Another way is I run masterclasses throughout the summer now. Unfortunately, this summer these are very, very likely to be cancelled, and we already had to cancel a number. But I've been doing some things on my Instagram feed, and we'll do a lot more remotely if this progresses on for longer, as it looks like, unfortunately, it will. So that's the plan in the immediate short term, is to get myself a little bit more tech savvy, work out how to do such stuff on my computer. Because, you know, I learned when I was younger, I didn't go on any camps. There wasn't many about, and if they were far too expensive. I did everything in my back garden, everything. You can be so inventive, so imaginative. There are so many skills you can practice in a tiny space. I think that's also, it's just making people realise you don't need enormous spaces or fancy equipment or much of anything to get good at something. I remember when I was about 13, it was when the reverse stick hit had just come in. No one did it much, particularly not as a younger age, whereas now every 13-year-old kid can do it. But I basically wrapped up my wooden hockey stick, so I didn't break it. I got a sheet, much to my mum's disgust. She didn't know, but I took a bed sheet and I tied it in a tree in the garden, and we had like a concrete patio, and I just used to hit, and I just practiced. Ruined hockey stick, ruined my mum's sheet, but you can do that. So I think as long as, particularly whilst, you know, we're in lockdown, there's opportunity for kids to see. I've always believed you can't be what you can't see. So that's where we'll take the academy in the short term.
Oh, I mean, sounds amazing. But in terms of obviously the stuff that you've been doing on your Instagram account recently, you don't need a hockey pitch or teammates to get out and about in the garden or, you know, in the living room to practice your skills. I think Jill DeFrond was, you're in her bad books actually, because I was trying some of Danson's, you know, little lifts the other day, and took out her favourite bars. So, you know.
Any parents out there, I'm sorry for any windows or damaging, or if you've got no sheets left at the end of this.
Well, I might take that one actually. I might stick some of the sheets upstairs and get practicing my tip, because if I can get one like you, then I'll be happy, right? But no, okay. But very interesting. But I'm obviously conscious of the time, and I've got another very important question to ask you. Okay, so it's an unknown secret that you know, you used to twist your stick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the case. Well-known secret that you used to twist your stick 15 times in a huddle before the game. Okay, so if anyone didn't know that, thank me later. I've just let you into a big bit of gossip from Danson-Bennett, but we all know about that now. Okay, and our friends here, can you share with us an unknown fact or secret, preferably nobody, but if some people know, then that's fine, about yourself?
Oh, to do with hockey, obviously. Anything.
Anything.
Oh, anything. So, an unknown secret.
It's got to be a good one, okay?
It's got to be a good one. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, I'll give you two. My hockey one is, so I have a really strange superstition when we get to the Olympic Games. I had it in Beijing, I had it in London, and I had it in Rio. And basically, on the first bus journey to the first training session, whatever song was on my playlist became the only song I would listen to on a match day, from when you left the Olympic Village to when you played your game. So I would, like, honestly listen to a song at the Olympic Games about 1,000 times. And it can be like, so let me give you, so in London,
can you sing it so that we can all...
No, I'm absolutely not singing it. But in London, it was Stacey, I don't even know how you say it. Is it Horacio? Have you heard of that? Whoever it is. Anyway, it's I'll Be Missing You, which is like this like really overpowering love song that I had to listen to.
No.
I'm not singing it. So yeah, that's my probably slightly strange, but it was just so my routine was always exactly the same. I just listened to the song repeat. It didn't bother me. So yeah, so that's probably slightly odd. My other Well, since the last 2 years, I've become much more outdoorsy. I say I've always loved the outdoors, but we have chickens at home, and my job is to look after the chickens. Well, one of my maid's jobs. So I've got 12 chickens. They've all got names. They're named after sweets. It's proved really handy during lockdown because we've had eggs every day, and apparently you can't get them anywhere. So
you can't. I can tell you that.
No,
I can tell you that for
I can't get them anywhere.
none in Essex. No.
Yeah. So I've been very accustomed to looking after chickens, checking chickens, cleaning chickens. Not so fun. But they are the tamest things ever. Occasionally we'll find one in the house. We have to chuck it out.
Unbelievable. So there we go. So Alex Danson-Bennett, former GB and England hockey legend, now turned farmer's wife. Correct?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, good on you. And if you ever need any eggs, then we know where to come, right?
You know where to come from. They honestly, free range organic eggs, best in the world.
I'll take your word for it, girl. Okay, so obviously, earlier on in the conversation, I said that I obviously announced that you were going to be my special guest on the first ever Cuppa and Natter. So thank you again for that. I asked for people to send in their questions, and as you can imagine, I thought I was the most popular person ever, getting all of these messages through the inbox. No one wanted to talk to me; they just wanted to find out from you all of the gossip. We've got time for a few.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Of course it is.
Okay, so question number 1 from T Club on Twitter. Love that name. Tea-related question: milk first or last when making a cuppa?
See, I think I break the rules. I always put the milk in first, but Alex always tells me I should put the milk in last. I know. I break the rules. Yeah. Milk first. Sorry, everyone. Sorry.
I actually can't believe that. I would not have expected that. I asked a question to Jill DeFond earlier, and she was horrified to think that someone would put milk first in their cup of tea, and I've just found my first guest does exactly that. Okay, well, it could be wrong. It could be, but you do you, girl.
I'll do me.
Okay, so question from Peter on Instagram. So he said, which player or coach had the biggest influence on your hockey career?
Oh, that's a great question. So my first international coach was a lady named Trisha Heberley.
Right.
And she had a massive impact on my career, as did those players. So I'd say the players in that team and that coach, because I was only 16, I was a starry-eyed kid. I was playing with players that were just my absolute heroes. And most people had full-time jobs. We trained at evenings and weekends and camps, and we'd take time off. I'd take time off school, they'd take time off work. And they worked so hard. Like, they worked so hard. Every one of them there wanted to win an Olympic medal or a world stage medal. It was just incredible. And I learned from them that, you know, things don't come easy. You won't get a place in the team without giving everything that you have. And then Trisha, our coach, she always used to say to us, when she coached us at England before GB, she always used to say, to represent England is not enough. And actually that stayed with me my entire career. It was like, to put on the shirt isn't enough. To just play the game isn't enough. It's to leave nothing behind. It's to play for the person next to you. It's to give 100% of yourself at all times. And I would almost credit my entire career down to the influence that they had. Because I think the secret is working hard and never thinking you've made it, and never thinking that it's enough to do what you're doing. There's always more to do, and there's always more fun to be had, and there's always more to learn, and there's always new players to develop with. And yeah, that's why I think I loved my career for as long as I did.
Isn't that incredible? Like, in terms of the influence that people so early on in your journey, considering that you had.
And I think that's why I want to work with younger people predominantly, because I think you're a sponge as a youngster. And I was just lucky. I was taught and I learned all of the right skills at a young age. And I think had I not learned them then, I may not have been played at all. I may not have played one cap. So I was just really lucky to have great people around me when I was younger.
Oh, incredible. Well, cheers to them as well. Right, okay, so I'm obviously aware that I promised you a 30-minute chat, and I could literally talk to you for 30 years out, okay? But my tea's nearly all gone. I don't know whether you can
Me
see.
too.
Yeah, my tea's nearly all gone, and it's nearly 5:30. I've got one more question for you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm now giving you, as my first ever guest on Cuppa and Natter, I'm giving you the power to decide my first question for my special unknown guest that is on my show on Thursday, okay? So anything, it could be anything. But yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask them because I can answer this question really quickly and easily. So I'm not going to be, it's not a mean one, it's a nice one. But I want to ask them if they could be at the top of any sport. So obviously they're at the top of their own. If they're at the top of any sport, which sport would that be and why?
Oh! Now,
and they can then say specifically in that sport, is there somebody in there that has made them want to do that sport?
All right. I mean, that I might have to come back to you, Al, and ask you to write all my questions.
Okay.
That's the question that I've just asked you. But okay, noted. I guess you're going to have to watch on Thursday to see who
Bye,
you're
Annie.
right?
I'm very excited.
So my next guest will be revealed on Wednesday at 5 p.m. The next Cuppa and Natter will be on Thursday at 5 p.m. But in all seriousness, it's now 5:30. Alex Danson-Bennett, thank you so much for giving up your time, being my first ever guest.
Pleasure.
I couldn't have asked for a better guest.
MD. Thanks, MD. It's been amazing. And wishing you all the best. This is going to be absolutely brilliant.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, I'm a bit starstruck, even looking through the screen. But no, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. To everyone else, thank you for joining us. Keep that kettle boiled, everyone. Keep nattering, especially at the time. And use the Cuppa and Natter hashtag if you fancy it. But if not, see you again on Thursday, same time, same place. Thank you so much, Al.